you're just starting out at university, if you don't want to be a regular average student like I was in secondary school, if you want to level up your academics and make college work and not come out and say school na scam, then you 100% have to watch this video, because in this video I'll outline how you can come out and be the top student at your university and actually make the most of the grand opportunity you're given, because not everybody gets to have that opportunity. Because entering into university with no concrete goal in mind is the fastest way to fail. So in this video, we're going to cover all it takes to be the top student, top 1% in university, and to come out successful. And by the end of this video, you will have all the tips and all the tricks you need to actually ace university and come out at the top. If you're new here and this is the first time you're seeing this face of mine, well, my name is Ari and I make lifestyle content and activity content to help you level up in your life. So if that's what you like and you're all about improving yourself and being that girl, then subscribe to this channel because it's going to help you. Without further ado, let's get started. Tip number 1, set higher goals. So I would like to say mindset shift, and that is actually what this is going towards, but I would say have higher goals. So I know you want to have a first class, and if your goal is as high as that, then good. But I want you to aim even higher. So you want to have a first class. That's amazing. That's wonderful. But what about being valedictorian? Okay, who are you saving that for? Who's going to have it if not you? So why are you not aiming to be the one giving the speech at your college graduation, convocation, in front of all the parents, and if you're covered by media, why can't you be the one giving that speech? You need to aim higher. Okay, your goal is to have a first class. You can't just be content. Of course, I'm not saying you should not be content, but basically getting a first class, you need a 4.5 GPA or CGPA, depending on your school grading system. So on a 5.0 scale, you need a 4.5. And if you're just content and if your aim is just to get a 4.51 or a 4.50 and that's enough for you, well, then that is not enough, because someone once said that if you aim for the sun, you'll land among the stars or something like that. Basically, if you aim for really high, then even if something goes wrong, which is normal, it's part of life, or plans to not go accordingly sometimes, then what are you going to fall? You're not going to be able to fall to a very good place that you want to. So that's why you have to have higher goals. You need to aim for straight A's and not just the bare minimum to get A's, but basically aim for high A's. Aim for 90, 95, aim for those higher numbers of getting A's, because that is what is really going to change the game for you. You get rid of the, oh, I'm okay, I know this is going to be enough for me, that this is just okay, being average, mediocre. I was like that, and it was not good. It was not funny, and it was not what I wanted. So I had to change my mindset to think that, okay, I can be better, because I know I can. So I had to change my mindset, and that was what really helped me. Ask questions. You are going to a totally new environment, totally new grading system from your secondary school. It's not going to be the same. You need to ask questions. And the best way to do this is to find older colleagues in your course that are taking the same subject as you and ask them about your courses. Especially if you're taking electives in your first year, some electives can make or break your grades. Literally, you need to ask what electives you need to take. And I'm not saying, oh, if they say it's hard, then you run away from it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need to know how to study, how to fix your mind concerning that elective. Because if you go into just random electives and be like, oh, I was good in physics in secondary school, I was good in chemistry in secondary school, so I'm going to go and take chemistry or physics electives. Definitely it's not on the same level as it was in secondary school, and if you're not cut out for it, then that is going to break your GPA. I remember when I first started at my orientation, and our chaplain was saying that everyone starts out at a 5.0. So as you are, you have straight A's, you have a perfect GPA, and you can only either maintain it or you can go lower. Okay, you already have a 5.0 GPA, and that really just opened my mind. It like something clicked in my head, because I'm like, oh, that's true. I literally have a perfect score. I have a perfect GPA. So I can only either maintain it or go lower. And so I had to make that shift and basically don't just go around picking any electives. And if you don't have electives and it's only compulsory courses, well, even still, you need to know how to study for those courses. Some lecturers are going to have some easy classes and everything's going to be fine, but the exams are probably going to be a lot harder than what they taught you in class. You need to ask questions about such lecturers, know your lecturers, and know how to take the classes seriously, how to prepare for them, and how to make the most out of each classes. And also asking questions in class, like meeting lecturers, like during the class. Oh my god, this should be another point, but since it's under asking questions, your lecturer first impression matters. Okay, don't let anyone tell you that it doesn't matter and you should just quietly get your A's. I am someone who, if I can, I would just keep quiet in class. I won't even say a single word. I hate drawing attention to myself unnecessarily. I just want to be quiet and just be a silent achiever. And there's nothing wrong with being a silent achiever. There are a lot of silent achievers, but basically there are so many benefits when it comes to actually making your lecturer know you, participating and contributing and asking reasonable question, not dumb question in class. And that's actually preparing beforehand, because you're going to study everything and you're going to make questions that you want to ask your lecturers. And of course, it should not be nothing too far from what you're doing, and it should be nothing too outrageous, but basically ask intelligent question, and the lecturer is going to look at you and be like, oh, this person knows what they're doing, they're really following. And no one told the lecturer that you spent the entire night yesterday just preparing for the class. No one's going to know. So it's going to be like, oh, you're really fast in assimilating what he's talking about, and it's going to boost his ego. And basically that's how you get them to know you, and over time they keep noticing, and coupled with good grades, you're gonna have your lecturer in your bag. So ask questions. That is an advice I should take myself. Okay, so the next thing on the list is the type of friends you keep. Oh my god, I never ever knew that friendships can literally make or break your grades. And the type of friends you keep is directly related to the type of grades you get. Literally, I'm not joking. Stop playing around with your friendships, okay? Just because you came in the same vehicle with the person, just because the person was the first person to talk to you when you arrived uni, or the person helped you out in a certain way when you were confused, does not make them your friend. Okay, I'm not saying be rude or put people off and be, have an attitude. No, that's not what I'm saying. But basically, you need to be more intentional about your friendships, okay? And I can go into detail, and I would. If you want me to go into detail on friendships, then please leave comments, because I plan to make an entire video about this, because I have learned the hard way that your friendships are literally very important. Okay, so you need to be intentional about making friends. Okay, sharing a room is not a pre-requirement to just automatically be friends. You need to be intentional about the kind of friends you keep, because you need to select your friends based on their attitude, their academic standing. And this is not even saying that they have to be already straight A student. They just basically have to want to be better. They have to want to be better people. Okay, they don't have to be geniuses. If they are, that's great. But basically, even if someone was a B student in secondary school like I was, but came to uni and wanted to change that narrative about my life and become better and start getting better grades, that is good enough. Okay, that is good enough. Choose your friend wisely. You can't find your friends just anywhere, okay? I literally went to the library to make friends. Okay, I stepped out of my comfort zone. I was in the library and I saw my classmates, and I was like, okay, that person is in the library. I literally had to give myself a pep talk just to stand up and go and actually sit with that person and just be like, hey, can I study with you? And he was like, oh, that's fine. And basically I that was so out of it for me. I rather just sit alone and figure things out myself. And I basically didn't even do it because like I wanted to ask questions. I just needed to get myself into the kind of people that I want. You are the average of the 5 people you spend your time with. So if the 5 people you spend your time with are C students, B students, well, what is the average of that? What do you want to be? Okay, you want to get straight A's, I assume, because you clicked this video. Okay, so you need to associate yourself with the people that actually also want to do that. So the next point is to be really organized. Your school is going to have a repository where you have all the PDFs, all the coursework already put out for you. So if your school does not provide this, then your older colleagues would. okay, you need to get your hands on all the PDF, all the courses materials that you need for that semester, and you need to store it in a place where you can easily access it. So basically, I can't recommend what I use right now because I was just using Google Files, but that was not organized at all. But I would recommend using Notion. You create a Notion page for each course you're taking, and that page is going to contain all the PDFs of that particular course. So there are Notion templates everywhere. Perhaps I'll link one below. But basically, that's how you stay organized, get all the PDF, and next point is to start immediately. Start studying immediately. What are you waiting for? What are you doing? You did not come to school to like, I know you want to try new things, you want to meet new people. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to, prioritize. So if you clicked on this video, then your priority is probably to get good grades. So let's say that's your first priority. Then your next priority is going to be, oh, network with people. When there's an event in school and you have a test or a deadline, that's when those priorities start to come in. Because are you going to go for that event in school, or are you going to sit down and study and do what you need to do, your assignments and everything? So you need to prioritize studying and just start immediately. So what I do is that I take the entire course and speed read through the PDFs. So basically, I am not trying to understand every single concept. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the course and everything. So I speed read through everything and just get a general overview then before I start going into detail. And basically, this will just make you go faster. I prioritize speed because if I give myself chance to be slow, I know that I will procrastinate everything. So I need to go with that speed. Just read through everything. Don't try to understand it just yet. Just read through everything, get a general overview before you go into depth of what you need to do and what you need to get. Cut out distractions and lock in. Okay. You do not have time to be distracting yourself with different things. I fell victim to this. It's a new environment and you see all this. Oh, you're going to see a lot of sign up calls. Sign up for this club, sign up for this activity, this association. There are going to be events after events after events. And those events, they're good. There's nothing wrong with going to events at college, but they can pose a serious distraction to your studies. And if you're not careful, you might end up distracted by 7 different activities like I was. Just different things. Oh, and it's going to be like this. You have a meeting here. I have to go here. I have to meet up with these people. This event is holding this evening. And basically, you're distracted and you have forgotten what you came to college for, which is to maintain reasonable grades and also, of course, do all this other stuff, but in moderation and having your priorities straight. Oh my god, social media takes a lot of time. It's something that I still struggle with, but that's because I'm on holiday. In school, I cannot, if I give a chance to social media, I'm gone. There's just no way I'm going to get out of that loop of binging content on YouTube, on TikTok, on Pinterest. Okay, there's just no way. So what I do is I set timers on my apps. When I was writing exams, I used the 30 minutes timer for all my social media except YouTube because I was using YouTube for tutorials on the courses that I wasn't really getting much from. So I put that timer and basically I discipline myself because there's a way to actually increase the timer once it runs out. And basically I told myself not to increase that timer. Once timer hit 30 and the app locked for the day, I didn't go to change and reset it. No, I didn't. So you need to be disciplined with yourself. And basically, this will also save you a lot of money because there was a time that I was spending a lot of money on data and it was just so ridiculous and I couldn't stop. I remember I couldn't make my hair that time because all my money was just going into getting more data so I could binge social media more and more, which I totally do not recommend. So I actually find that watching a series, so I watch a lot of K drama and I find that watching a series, especially one that is quote unquote boring, can really help you when you just want to distress but do not want to get engaged and caught by the trap of social media and entertainment industry. So basically I just watch that series and it's nothing too stimulating. I just do it to get a break without getting engaged. And the final thing on this list is to take your test and exams and assignments and every little thing you have to do in your courses. Take it super seriously, okay? We have times that in my school, when once the lecturer, for example, gives a test and people do not do very well on the test, he might just be like, oh, okay, so you didn't do well on the test, so to give more marks to the assignments, and then the test we have lower marks. And if you messed up on the assignments because you're just like, that's just 15% of my grades, that's just 5% of my grades, that's just 10% of my grades, it doesn't matter. But guess what? Now it's 25% of your grades. Now it's 30% of your grades. What are you going to do? So you need to take every assignment quite seriously and take tests quite seriously. So I noticed that I usually do not like put a lot of effort into my tests. So last semester I made a change and that I decided to like read super hard for tests and almost read the same way I read for exam. What happened was that I would do really low on my test and then I will grind for examination and then by God's grace do well on the examination. But basically I wanted a chill life. I didn't want to like grind. I did my best in my test and also the exam. When the exam came, I was not traumatized. I could just revise and go through everything again just calmly and get good grades in the exam. Another thing I'm going to talk about concerning the exam is, watch your time. If you're just entering university, then you're probably going to have a lot of CBT based tests. So you need to watch your time because I have fallen victim to there not being enough time. I cannot go into this. Okay. Basically, there was a time we had 50 calculation questions and he gave us 20 minutes for 50 calculation questions. That was insane. Okay, that was insane. And I could not finish that examination. I had like 15 questions left. So I don't want you to go through that. Manage your time properly. And basically, once you see that you have 2 minutes left on the clock or 1 minute left on the clock, just select anything. Just pick a random answer. You don't know, you might be lucky and get the correct thing. And remember that God is on your side. This is basically what God wants you to do. He wants you to be the best. He wants you to be a straight A student. Don't let anyone tell you anything other than that. God wants you to be the best and He's supporting you. And if you continue to abide by Him and by His principles, you are going to make success and you are already successful. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends that have also just gotten into college and want the best. So I'm going to be dishing out a lot of freshers content. If you're interested, which I know you are, do comment, like, subscribe. See you next time. Go and be the best. Bye!